The drink in his hand? It's not for sipping. It's for setting a trap. And the mark? The rich guy sitting right next to him. So how does he pull it off? First, butter him up. Bro, that watch is something else. Gold and platinum, studded with a 23-carat diamond. Only 2 ever made in the entire world. That's gotta be worth at least $5 million. Before the words even leave his mouth, he raises the bait and accidentally spills his drink all over the rich guy. Then Mike starts apologizing, dabbing and wiping at the guy's suit. And by the time he's done cleaning up, the rich guy's room key has already been swiped. Mike slips into the guy's suite, and right there on the table, a case, packed with luxury watches. He grabs the whole thing and bolts. That's when the rich guy comes back, sees the case is gone, and sends his bodyguard after him. But just before the guard catches up, Mike gives a casual little wave, and the elevator doors slide shut. Down in the lobby, the front desk tells him a car's been arranged. Mike leans down to look inside, and, well, would you look at that? It's the rich guy. Talk about awkward. But he has no choice. It's either get in the rich guy's car or get in a police car. Turns out, just a few hours earlier, Mike had broken out of prison, and the cops are already closing in. The rich guy floors it, tearing through the streets like a maniac. The police are right on their tail. After one insane high-speed chase, they make it to the airport. The rich guy's crew is already waiting. Mike has no choice but to board a private jet. Otherwise, he's a dead man. That's when it finally clicks. All of this, every bit of it, was a setup orchestrated by the rich guy. And the rich guy doesn't even try to hide it. He lays it all out. Turns out he's actually a Middle Eastern prince. Handsome, loaded, and an absolutely elite driver. His crew? Each one has a special talent. John is a master of disguise and lockpicking. Paul is a demolitions expert. And Daisy? She's a hand-to-hand combat machine. She could take down an entire gang single-handedly. Together, they go by a legendary name, the Robin Hood crew. Robin Hood, as in, they steal, but not for profit. Their code is simple. Take from the corrupt, give to the poor, punish the wicked, protect the innocent. This time, they've got a massive target, $1 billion in gold. The gold is locked inside a heavily fortified private prison. The warden? A real piece of work. Over the years, he's been working hand in hand with terrorists, building private prisons all over the place, running smuggling and drug operations on the side. The crew's plan is to break into the prison and steal the gold. But none of them have ever done time, so they know nothing about how things work on the inside. That's where Mike comes in. Mike knows prisons like the back of his hand. He's not just a master thief, he's a master escape artist. Prison is basically a hotel to him. He checks in whenever he feels like it, and checks out whenever he gets bored. So to recruit Mike, the crew set that whole trap. They deliberately led him to steal the watches, filmed the entire thing, and tipped off the police about his location. They let the cops chase him down, leaving him no choice but to join up. But Mike has conditions. He'll cooperate, but he calls the shots on this job, and he wants half the gold. The crew's reaction? Sure, you can run the show, but we're stealing this gold to stop terrorists from doing more damage. The gold's going to refugees, man. The second Mike hears there's no payday, he's out. All that effort risking my neck and I don't even get paid? You've got to be kidding me. He turns to leave, but then, out of nowhere, his daughter shows up. They haven't seen each other in years. After talking, Mike learns the truth. This whole plan to break into the prison and steal the gold? It was his daughter Mary's idea from the start. And recruiting Mike? That was her call too. For years, Mary has been doing humanitarian work in the Middle East. When she found out the warden was in bed with terrorists and planning to use the gold to fund more attacks, she put this whole operation together. Mike sees what's at stake. Like it or not, he's in. He has to keep his daughter safe. So they start mapping out the heist. First, they need to figure out where the gold is stored. Using satellite photos of the prison, Mike notices something odd: a laundry truck. The prison has its own laundry room, so why are they sending clothes out to be washed? There's only one explanation. The laundry room is the vault. With the location locked down, they get to work. First, John disguises himself as a safety inspector and gets inside the prison. He checks the kitchen equipment, then scares the staff, tells them the ovens are a safety hazard and need to be replaced immediately, or they'll blow. The kitchen manager panics and orders 2 new ovens on the spot. Next, Daisy chats up the delivery driver, says she'd love to grab some KFC with him. The driver can't believe his luck. Next thing he knows, he's tied up in a bathroom and Daisy's got his truck keys. Mike and Paul disguise themselves as movers and slip inside the prison. Along the way, Mike smashes a statue, because that's going to be their ticket out later. But how do you steal $1 billion in gold from a prison? Step 1. Create chaos. Mike and Paul dress up as kitchen staff and spike the food with heavy-duty laxatives. Before long, every inmate is down for the count. Vomiting, diarrhea, the infirmary overflowing. The prison has no choice but to transfer inmates to outside hospitals. The whole place descends into pandemonium. With everyone distracted, Mike and Paul sneak into an empty restroom. They locate the spot directly above the vault, pry up a tile, and start drilling down. Bingo. They hit it right on target. Paul pulls out liquefied gas, pours it through the hole, and gets ready to blast the vault open. But an explosion that loud would definitely alert the guards. No worries. They've already planned for that. Outside, Daisy is posing as a health inspector. She parks a car rigged with explosives right by the prison entrance. When the moment comes, Paul detonates. A single boom. Both blasts go off at the same time, inside and out. The distraction works perfectly. The warden thinks it's just the car outside and rushes to the surveillance room. Meanwhile, Mike and Paul are already inside the vault. Paul snaps a photo from the same angle as the security camera, then hacks into the system and swaps the feed with the still image. When the warden reaches the monitors, everything looks normal. But being the cautious type, he orders his men to zoom in on the vault footage. And that's when it falls apart. The image isn't moving at all. The warden realizes something's very wrong and races to the vault with his men. But he's too late. It's completely empty. The warden is absolutely livid. He orders a full search of the prison. Just then, Mike, disguised as a doctor, wheels a stretcher right past him. Suddenly, clang, a gold bar drops to the floor. The warden figures the gold must be hidden on the stretchers and orders every ambulance stopped. His men tear through each one. Nothing. Not a single bar. The warden is baffled. Then he spots 2 sanitation workers acting suspicious. He walks over and asks who sent them. "Our boss," they say. "And where's your boss?" "He's, loading some really heavy stuff. That truck that just drove by, that's him." It hits the warden like a freight train. The gold is in the sanitation truck. He takes off after it. The prince drives straight into the desert, the warden hot on his tail. A wild chase unfolds across the sand. Finally, at the border, the prince stops. The warden catches up, but the crew doesn't look the least bit worried, because there's no gold in the truck. It was a decoy. Another misdirection. So where's the gold? Remember that statue Mike smashed? Back in the prison, Mike has used the broken statue to make a mold. He loads the gold into a large stone basin, shoves it into a modified oven, and melts it all down. He pours the liquid gold into the mold. And just like that, a golden statue cast in minutes. A coat of the original red paint, and it looks exactly like the old one. Disguised as a maintenance worker, Mike claims the statue is damaged and needs to be taken off-site for repairs. He walks it right through the security checkpoint and out of the prison. The gold is gone. When the warden finds out the truth, he's seething. He pulls out a gun, but in an instant, he's surrounded by mercenaries. They've crossed into the prince's territory, and his forces were lying in wait the whole time. Out of options, the warden gets into a car with the terrorists. And their leader? Not exactly known for mercy. So the warden's fate? Well, you can imagine. The crew meets up with Mike, and there it is. That big golden statue gleaming in the sun. The next day, the news reports a food poisoning incident at the prison. Not a single word about the gold. And shortly after, a children's charity receives an enormous anonymous donation. Once again, the Robin Hood crew has taken from the corrupt and given to the powerless, proving that justice still has teeth.